Bristol, what the hell do you think you're doing? You didn't make me a single thing for dinner tonight. Are you mentally disabled or something? Karen, you should know that right now I'm at work still and haven't been home all day. In other words, I haven't had any time to make you dinner tonight. I'm sure you can make something yourself with what we have in the fridge. Always making up such excuses, aren't we? And I know that no matter what you do, you are always going to force Theo to love you. Please don't say things like that about us. Are you going to try and starve me today? You get your butt back here right now and start making me my dinner. Karen, how about you pick yourself out a pot or pan and make yourself something to eat? We have all sorts of food in the fridge you can make up, so get to it, please. Because if you're going to take the time to complain to me, then that means you have the time to cook. Then you won't have to starve yourself like that. I cannot believe this, complaining about what I'm doing to me like that. I'm not complaining about anything right now. I'm just giving you some ideas of what you could be doing with your time instead of complaining to me. I have work to tend to still here at my office, and actually, shouldn't Theo be home with you right now? If you're upset about not having any food ready for you right now, then how about you get your own son to do it? What are you going on about? Did you just tell me to make my son cook, huh? Stop speaking like you're actually dumb or something. In what world are you living in where you think you can tell your own husband to cook? Come home right now and actually do your job as his wife. I'm afraid that in this day and age, it's pretty normal for husbands to cook as well. And I'm not asking him to make me my food right now, am I? You keep complaining about how I haven't made anything up for you. So I'm suggesting that if you don't want to starve right now, then you either cook something yourself or get your son to do it. I have no idea what you keep going on about right now. Well, this conversation is going to end pretty soon anyway. What do you mean by that? It's going to end pretty soon now? I'm talking about what I'm going to do. So far, it seems to me that you haven't realized just how important it is that you take good care of my son and I. It's no longer any use for you to keep trying to avoid caring for us. Caring for the both of you? Since when was I supposed to be caring for the both of you any more than I already am? I understand that you're currently living with my husband and I right now, but the only reason for that is because you forced your way into the place. I think you should start appreciating what I've already been doing a little bit more instead of complaining. Considering it's me paying all the bills. I'm going to make sure that you pay for talking to me like that. You're going to regret ever turning your back on your family. Wait, what? Turning my back on you guys? Right now, your mom is asking me to make dinner for her even though I'm at my office and can't come home just yet. I asked her to make something up herself, but she keeps complaining and saying I have to. Could you please make something for her so that she doesn't starve?
What the heck, Bristol? Are you trying to make a fool out of my mom now? Also, I'm not going to be able to make anything for her right now because I'm out of the house.
What? Why are you not at home right now? It's not like you have to work or anything today, right?
Why does it matter where I head out to? I'm not some child, so you don't need to be asking me that.
But are you okay, money-wise?
Ah, that's right. This month is looking pretty slim for me again, so could you spare me a bit more? It's not like you're using anything you make, right?
Excuse me? I know that you're going to tell me you need the money for things like food and such again, but I'm not so sure that you really are putting any of that money into food. Can you tell me why this month you're not going to have enough money?
This time can you make it $10,000? That money is going towards something pretty important this time.
And can you tell me what it is that's so important to you that you need $10,000?
It's for the house, all right? You know better than I do that the house isn't the most accessible for the elderly, right? It's because of my mom that we're able to live in this house, so don't even say a word about it and give me that money.
I'm sorry, but I can't just hand you $10,000 that easily.
You sure as hell can. I know for a fact that you have that money on you and could send it right into my bank account right now.
And once I've handed you that money, you're just going to use it on whatever you please?
On whatever I please.
I'm really tired of this crap, so could you please stop playing games with me?
Well, I'm sure I will be using it on whatever I please. And then I'll be free to do anything I want with my mom. After all, once a little more time has gone by, my mom and I will no longer need you anymore.
Oh, I see. Sounds good, Theo. I'll get that money ready for you then. But this time, I'll be creating a contract regarding this transaction, and you must sign it in order to get my money.
Making up a contract when I'm your family. How greedy. That's why you're aging so much.
Say whatever you'd like about me, Theo. Just know that with each word you say about me, the less likely it is that I let you borrow any money. Theo, how are the talks with your wife going? Things should be coming to a close very soon here, right? You know better than anyone else that I've had enough of that woman. Even today, she didn't come home to make me anything for dinner. Don't you see that she's a bully and needs to be punished?
I know about it, Mom, and I'm done being her husband as well. But if you would just give me a bit more time, our plans will all come to fruition. Then both you and I can finally be free from Bristol forever.
Are you sure? Will we finally be able to move away from her?
Yeah. Everything is going our way with her right now. The house is all old and run down anyway, so we'll leave her with it. And then you and I can find a really nice place and move into there.
Theo, you have always been such a clever little man. That's just like the son I've raised you to be. I'm so happy I gave birth to a son as smart as you. Yet with that woman you married, she has no idea what she's gotten herself into, has she?
Pretty easy to see that, Mom. And that's why it was so easy for us to use her up and get ready to throw her away. Thank God I got married to such a rich woman, right?
That's absolutely right. Because of my bright little man, I'm going to be the happiest mother on the planet. Well, I hope that our dreams come true for us sooner rather than later, Theo.
Now I have something I need to ask you really quickly.
What do you need from me? Ask whatever you'd like, and I'll do whatever I can for you. Karen, I should be making it home earlier than normal today. Were you able to already get something to eat for dinner? We are giving you that house, Bristol. What was that? Oh, I completely forgot to tell you about this, but I will no longer be needing that house now. We're not even there as we speak. Both Theo and I have moved out of there. What are you talking about, Karen? That house is far too useless to me now that I'm old myself and don't have my husband around anymore. Honestly, it's complete garbage to me, so I thought I'd let you have it now. Would you please thank me now for not kicking you out of there and having it destroyed? And don't even try to come with Theo and I, because we are long gone now. So you've really moved out? Both you and my husband are no longer living in the house? That's right. You knew that this whole time I was the one paying all the bills at home because I'm running my own company and can afford it, right? I hope you didn't just move out of the house not knowing any of that. Give it up with your delusions about being the one who pays for all the bills. I've heard this and that about how you have your own company you run, but I doubt that company makes you nearly enough money to even be considered middle class. So stop acting like you're so amazing, would you please? I've moved out of there with my cute little genius son, and we're now living in a penthouse. What? A penthouse? So what I'm getting from this is that the $10,000 I lent him a bit back was used on that penthouse? $10,000? What are you talking about? So you have no idea what's going on, Karen. Does this mean that it was Theo's plan to move out of the house and drag you along with him? Well, the both of us wanted to move out of the house as soon as possible, because you are a total nagging bitch. Also, it seems that Theo was really excited about living with his girlfriend. I told him that I'd take care of both him and his girlfriend as long as he moved us into a really nice home. And he did just that for me and put all three of us into this massive and modern penthouse. I'm going to make sure to never tell you where the address is either. I see. Understood. I don't really care to know anything about the penthouse you all have moved into or where it is. But if you're telling me that this house is mine now and that Theo and I will be getting a divorce, then I'll make sure to take action very thoroughly. Could you please come back to the house for a little bit tomorrow? What the hell? Oh, now you're just sounding plain stupid. Also, to avoid things that might become a little bit vague in the future, let's make sure all of this is backed by legal documentation. How does that sound? Well, that's a good point. It'll be a pain in the butt to have to do all that paperwork with you, but it'll help us in the long run. I guess I have no choice now but to go back there. I'm sure you'd love to know about where we're living now too, right? No, not at all, actually. If you get on your hands and knees and beg for the address when I go back, I might tell you. Are you even listening to what I'm saying, Karen? Well, perhaps I just really want to see you on the ground in front of me begging to have us back. After all, my son and I have moved out of there because you're so annoying, but pretty fun to watch when you realize you're screwed. If you get on your hands and knees and then cry and beg for me to tell you, I'll give you the address. Ugh. Enjoy that penthouse with your son, who's only bringing in $200 a month, at most. What? What the hell do you mean, $200 a month? Ugh. All I meant by that was to tell you a fact about your son. I know you really hate being cast out by Theo like this, but stop being a sore loser and making up lies about him. If you really don't want there to be a divorce, then you're going to have to try a bit harder than that, all right? I ask that you first start by begging and crying for forgiveness from us. No thanks. I want this divorce more than anyone, actually. You do? Well, that was quicker than I imagined. I already told you why I don't want him anymore. He's only making $200 a month at most. So you can take him and be happy now. I'm not really sure how he was able to get a penthouse like that in the first place, but I can tell you right now he did not buy it. So good luck with rent next month, and know that I want nothing to do with it. Sorry to say, Karen, but your son played you really good this time. You had to give him a little bit of your money as well, right? Huh? Are you trying to make some kind of convoluted joke now? My son would never ever try to fool his own mother. I'm asking about that money right now. Did you hand him any? Of course I gave him just a little bit when he asked for it. He told me it was for this penthouse, so of course I was going to let him have a bit of my money. Wow. Well, if you're totally fine with giving him your money for no good reason, then I'm not going to say anything about it. After all, I don't really care what happens between you both. Anyway, make sure you come back over here tomorrow to fill out some paperwork with me. I'll be waiting patiently for you. And once everything is finished up and signed, you and your son will have nothing to do with me ever again. This is what you've both been wanting, right? Hey, Bristol, something doesn't feel very right over here. And for some reason I haven't been able to find Theo anywhere. Have you heard anything from him at all? What are you talking about, Karen? I haven't heard anything from him. I see. Oh, then he has to be with that woman. I'm sorry for not knowing anything about this, but you all have nothing to do with me, right? So could you please leave me be now? But without him around, I'll be in huge trouble. I've already gotten one notice saying that I'll be kicked out of this penthouse. Well, that's kind of what happens when you get a place like that on Theo's monthly salary. I'm sure it's no lie that he took the $10,000 that I lent him, along with whatever money you gave him, and used it all to force his way into that penthouse and now has nothing left to pay with, right? What are you talking about? No matter how you try thinking about your situation, it's all kinds of strange. Theo only works part-time and is only making around $200 a month at that. He's also been borrowing money from all sorts of really strange places, which does not help him one bit. I'm wondering if it was one of those people he borrowed from that he also got the penthouse from. I knew already just by the facts at hand that you guys wouldn't be able to stay there very long. But they are going to start asking you for your money since you still have some left. What? Oh, you have to be lying about that, right? So, you're really telling me that it's true? Theo played me good? I'm not sure about everything. I'm sure even Theo didn't know about everything while he was asking for your money. He was probably going to use all your money to help him pay off all his debts while you both started living there. And I'm sure that it's going to be pretty much impossible for him to pay for that penthouse alone, considering he doesn't make nearly enough money to afford the rent. Hey, Bristol, we got a letter in the mail asking for a very large amount of money. And the day after that is when Theo stopped coming back here. What am I going to do about all of this? Why are you asking me that like you want an answer? Who the hell else am I supposed to ask right now? Anyone besides the woman you constantly picked on and then bragged to when moving out of your old house. Honestly, I think you are very mistaken right now about me. What? I am nothing to you now, and I never want to have any part in your life again. I'm not family to you, not even a friend to you, and not even a kind stranger. You really think that after all you said to me, you'd be able to get help from me now? I don't even know how to help you because that money issue you have is the least of your problems. Well, how about you let me move back into that house with you? I have no idea how things ended up this way, and I'm not sure how to get out of it. I believed everything Theo was telling me before, but now I'm starting to really think he's in all sorts of trouble now. Well, thank goodness I still have that house that my husband bought for us long ago. So that means I'll be coming back to live there now, all right? If you're going to still be paying all the bills and everything, then I guess I'll let you keep living with me there. Are you all right, Karen? Because what you just said was all a load of BS. That house is gone now. I sold it. What? You sold it? But what's really strange is how you started acting like you could just move back into the house after giving it to me. I would have never let you back in. But luckily the house is sold now anyway, so we don't have to go through all that nonsense. I've moved into my own apartment now. I know that you're about to be kicked out of that penthouse and all, but I have to say, moving into a high-rise apartment like this is truly amazing. What are you talking about? You actually sold that house? That house was my frickin' house! How could you do something like that without asking me first? Are you the mentally disabled one here? You gave me that house when you and Theo moved out, right? What? I did? You and I both went and sat down to fill all of that paperwork out a little while back, right? When you were truly out of the house, you said it was mine and gave it to me legally. Did you already forget about all of that? Perhaps your early signs of dementia are starting to appear. Now that you mention it, I think something like that did happen. But even if that happened, you sold the house without my permission? Oh, come on now, you old fart. It's not that hard to understand, right? You gave me the house, literally changing the name on it to mine. That means I can do whatever I want with the place. I wasn't doing anything without your permission because it was my house and only mine. That's why I sold it for some easy cash. Also, back when your husband bought the house, the place wasn't that expensive, and neither was the land even. What are you talking about? Over time, that land grew in value. Not the house, but the land itself. And because of that, I was actually able to get more than your husband had paid for it. So I'll be kind and consider the money I got for the house as my settlement from Theo. Wait, oh, you're joking, right? You were able to make that much money off the place? Oh, that was the house I had so many memories inside with my husband and family. Then why were you pushing the house off onto me, calling it all old and run down before? Also, like I was saying, the house was not all that much, so I had it torn down before selling the land and materials. You had that house destroyed? All of our memories? All of your memories? Next time you want to treasure your memories, don't give them to a stranger calling them old and run down. The place is gone and sold off. I was never going to keep a place that big, so I think I made the right decision here. I cannot believe this. The fact that you took things this far, that was our house. Then you shouldn't have let go of it. You were the one that made the final choice and even signed all the documents legally saying that it was to become mine. Sorry that you regret it, but you can't complain about those choices you made to me. Listen, Bristol, I'm sure you still want my son back, right? Oh, brother. Where are we going with this conversation now? You shouldn't be picking on me if you still have feelings for him, all right? I'll let you have him back, Bristol. But that means you have to do something to get us our house back. You could even let us have that apartment of yours now for him. Thea wants me to do something to help the situation. Then perhaps you need to do something to help him. Because I'm not going to bother with either of you. So, no thank you, Karen. I don't even think there is a single bit of love and care left in me for the little brat. So there. You're lying, right? You don't have to play this off strong anymore. The guy barely worked a job and was loaded with debt while going out to cheat on me with his girlfriend. He has an old whining mother attached to him and wasn't even able to afford a house for the both of you. You really think I want a parasite like that back in my life? All I felt by being married to him was stress, and it's finally gone now. Old whining mother? Are you calling me that? Who else does he have as a mother? You're a total bitch. Also, ever since the divorce, I have been feeling a lot more sexy. Even some of the men in my company are saying so. What? You are? I'm only in my 30s, after all, and the owner of a company. So far, I've been having a lot of fun with myself, now that I'm single again. Honestly, with how amazing a woman I am, you should be thankful I ever gave your son such a chance at being my husband. Well, I'm sure you'll never thank me, but anywho, you're asking the wrong person for help right now. Both you and your crappy son go find someone else to bother with your problems. Well, I guess I mean just you, since your son is gone and run away from you or something. Bristol, wait. If you leave me like this, I'm really going to be screwed. If you don't help me, I'll be screwed. If anything, all of this was your doing in the first place. Oh, shut the hell up, you annoying old hag. Not my fault that whole plan you and your sly son got into didn't go as planned. The fact that you're trying to blame me for it all now just goes to show how you're better off rotting in hell than being helped. Let's hope that your son comes back one day to get you. I'm not helping you any, so please enjoy whatever days you have remaining in that penthouse of yours. Goodbye forever, you annoying old hag of a failure. Once all of that talk was finished, I went and completely ignored anything else that Karen had to say to me. And in the end, after about a week of not looking at anything she sent me, I just went and blocked her number. She then turned to calling her son over and over again, but she was still getting no answers from him until one day, when she called him, there was no voicemail or anything to his number anymore. The only thing anyone I know really heard about him after he ran off is that he was seen climbing into the back of a freight train and was going to hitch that ride all the way to California. There was also this story on the news about how a group of thugs had found a man who looked similar to Theo, but was bald and didn't share the same last name. He was beaten to a pulp over not having the money they had been asking for, and this did all happen down in California, so I like to think that's where he met the end of his story. Within the following week, Karen was then kicked out of the penthouse and had to move to the coast, where she's now working on a fishing boat. She's too old to be of any use out on the deck, but the crew's made good use of her as their cook. Where on some of the more treacherous days, she's thrown back and forth in the kitchen due to the waves. I'm sure that's not the best life for a woman her age, but I think it's perfect for a woman her age who is a complete dick, and I hope she regrets everything she's done. As for myself, those past couple of weeks after I had finally blocked Karen were so much fun for me. I was able to have some time to myself more, and that allowed me to take time to travel a little bit and meet new people. And at one point during my time out, I ran into this really nice man at a bar I was at, and after talking for a little bit, we both learned that we're in the same kind of business together. When I told him that I'm a company owner and was recently single, I think that really got him going, and due to that, I'll now be going on a trip with him to Shanghai in a few weeks for both business and pleasure.